Today we're going to carry on with the work we were doing the other day, taking the Move.AI motion capture I recorded of myself on my iPhone, and I put that into Unreal Engine, and now we're going to record it with VCam. Hey, welcome to Real Time Workflows. I'm MX Bell. I worked on Deadpool and Wolverine, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 1917, Hobbs and Shaw, Wheel of Time, Little Mermaid, No Time to Die, tons more. What you're going to get in the channel are my pro tips and how I use Unreal Engine to make films. So let's get started. Let's make some stuff. See you down the road. Welcome back to Real Time Workflows. So let's carry on making the shot. I should point out that the shot is for my project GIBLETS, which is the comedy that you may have seen around the channel about the two guys in chicken suits who are on a drinking game and they run into some trouble. This is the pitch deck for the feature version. The shot that I've got in mind only really works in the short version, which is a 15-page short, which the idea was we were going to shoot it live action. We may still shoot it. It's just everything's just kind of on pause right now because of Trenchfoot, my World War I feature. Link up there if you don't know about the World War I feature. But since we're just playing around, I thought I'd point out the shot that I'm actually working on here. The shot that these two videos are trying to get is previs for this. This. So this is the establishing shot. The reason it doesn't work for the feature is that we've already seen them in their chicken suits. There is a shot similar to this, but it's not in the pub, it's in the street in the feature. It still starts on the feet, and the idea is that we come up to reveal the full sort of chicken suity goodness here. But this is just, but we're just making a shot for the sake of making a shot. That's the shot that I want to make. I should also point out as well that this is a workflow video of me using the technique that I described a couple of videos ago. Link up there. I just think it's worth, if you've already seen that video, it's worth just watching it, just in practice, going over it again. So let's get on with it. Right, so at the downstairs machine, here we go. So we just go to our takes, and we've got our new scene that we just did. Andy and Dave at the door. Yep, here they are. And do you know what the other thing that I might do? Let's animate the door just real quick. So it probably wants to be open. So let's be open around here. Around here. Okay. It's good enough. So we close sequence down. I'm going to drop the sequence into the level, and we've probably got the other one dropped in already. Let's just double check. So outliner, we can choose only in current level. Obviously we've got this one, so we want to just get rid of that. We don't want that to play. That's the one from the previous lesson. And we'll drop this one in instead. Okay, so if we just turn on autoplay and hit simulate, the level sequence will play. Okay, there they are. Cool. So that works. We're going to get our VCam actor, add him into it, drop our sequence in, and we're going to grab our VCam, and let's just put our VCam somewhere logical. Let's connect it first. VCam is on, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to position it in roughly where I want it for this door. I'm going to pop it down here, and what I want to do is I want to just move it roughly to where I want to start the shot. I'm going to put it on the ground in front of the door. So somewhere like that. Okay. So now if I picked it up, still feel we're a bit low, about the height of a chair. Okay, now, yeah, now it's better. Now we're about the right height. Okay, I'm just going to open it up. And I'm just going to take that. I noticed there was a bit of time there at the start where there's nothing happening. It's like they don't come in through the door until like we want to start around here, right? So basically what I want to do is set our start point to around here. And then we'll close that down. Okay. And then come back to my VCam, just disable it a second, full screen that, re-enable. Okay, still connected, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit play while I line up some shots. So here they are, look. So I mean, it's something like that, I think. But we're going to be focused on their feet to start with. So let's just wait to see what happens here. Right, so I'm going to jump back in at this point to say that when I recorded that, my iPhone died that was recording the video. But I did record some VCam, and we've got some takes to go through here now. So let's just take a look. Because we had this question, I had a question on the channel, and I think it's worth just going over it. So Mr. Stormy Wolf says, I thought that you take your master sequence as the action animation and record VCam into that sequence. You can do that, right? So I just want to answer that question. You can do that. The problem is that when you do that, you've only got the one sequence there, right? So you've got a sequence with some action. What you could do is you could, let's say I want to make a new shot, right? I make a shot here. Let's just call it. And I'm going to record shot 10 into here. So I would add a subsequence track. I'm going to put my action in here. So yeah, so you could now record your VCam into this shot 10, right? But you only get one go at it, right? And the thing is about recording VCam is the performance. You know, you're pressing record and you're hoping you get it right. So my preferred way to do it, rather than recording it straight into here, is I record it into and let it go into its default folder, so which is cinematics takes, and you get a date folder, and then these are the takes that I did, because now you can sift through this and see what you got, right? And then you can promote one of these. You can make a select, and then you promote it to being a shot. So you can see it recorded the VCam, right? You can see that, but as you know, we don't have the actors in because that's not what the method was doing. So we add our subsequence track, and then we add. It's called Andy and David Door. Okay, so it should do this. So if we look through this now, we should get. There we go. And that's the shot, that's what I recorded. Now, I need to adjust the focal length and everything else. There's some tidying up to do. But that's the shot, that's what I recorded, right? Now, I could do the same thing. I could just copy this. I could go to EAD06. Let's open that one. Take 6. Open this. Paste that. And now we can look in here. And that was take 6. I think I prefer take 7. And whichever one I think I prefer, so I think I prefer take 7. All right, so I prefer take 7. I'm gonna drag it into my shots folder wherever that is, and say copy here. Right, and then I would come into here and I would rename it and we'll call it whatever we've got. So you know, our naming convention for this might be GIBLETS. It might be it's scene. We know that it's scene 2. I think it's scene 02. Well, could we leave it as EAD for the scene? So GIBLETS is the project, EAD is the scene, and then we don't need this 03 and 07 anymore. We're just calling it a shot. So let's call it 010, and then call it V001, and then that's our naming convention. And we've created a shot, but what we were able to do is we were able to record a ton of takes, try a few out, then sift through them, which is what the original point was, and see what we get. So, you know, I can come in here now. We've got now this is a local copy of this is spawnable, a spawnable VCam. It's not a VCam anymore. I should point out it's just a camera. And it's there it is. Look, we can see it there. And so and we're probably going to want to start it fully black. I'd say the shot probably starts there. I'm gonna add a focus distance, and then we can come down here and we can just draw focus plane, bring that right in. Okay, there. Okay, and then the shot is okay, and I'd probably put a little bit of light on them on the inside as well. So let's just do that real quick. I'd probably just use a spawnable light. Let's go rect light. Put that in here. Here it is. Look, already better. But I'd probably just assume it's going to be the top light from up here, and it's too bright. The light is too bright, so we'll knock this down to like say 1, yeah, something like that. And then here they come. Okay, and then I might make, it feels like the next change I might make is I might lift his head up. I might put the control rig on and lift his head up a little bit when he turns around and he starts to walk in. But then that's the end of the shot there, right? So we would go 359 is the end of the shot, the end of the useful 359, and the shot would probably just start, but give it a bit of head here. So we'll call it 175. And then that's my shot. So we've taken our VCam take and promoted it to a shot, and there it is. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all the other crap that you have to do, or that I would like you to do. And I'll see you down the road.